Warning.
Hey everyone, we're Tim and Shannon. And this is Hornblower, our beloved Baba 40 that we've spent the last 7 years renovating and is now our home as we sail around the Caribbean. After a calm night at anchor, we awoke to a light breeze and gentle seas. The approximate 5 nautical mile trip from Norman's Cay to Shroud Cay would be a short run. Upon arrival, the Shroud Cay anchorage is mostly filled with boats that arrived earlier, and the pickings are slim, but we find a spot and drop anchor. The day is young and the weather had obliged us, so we set out to explore one of the many cuts that intersected the entirety of the quay. We enter the cut from the west side of the island and are drawn in further by the winding serpentine curves and the water's full spectrum of blues. More colors of blue and white than the big box of crayons, these tidal cuts are shallow sandy havens that are lined with red mangrove stands as far as the eye can see. We see sharks, stingrays, and turtles as they feed in the rapidly moving tidal currents. Curious as to what each new bend would reveal, we continued to explore east toward the windward side of the island. As we round the last curve, we see rapids formed by the incoming Atlantic Ocean as the tide pushes into the cut. We later learn that this is called Camp Driftwood and that the FBI had set up camp here to surveil the aircraft flying into and out of Pablo Escobar's operation a few miles back north at Norman's Cay. With Pablo and the FBI long gone, this place looked like the perfect place to jump in, relax, do a little snorkeling, and cool off after a morning in the sun. We returned through the cut and back to the west side, just as enamored by the wildlife and the beauty of the islands as our trip in. Not content to surrender, we continued the excursion south on the shoreline and into another tidal estuary lined with more mangroves and a series of stunning white sugar sand beaches. Accessible only by small dinghy or kayak and hidden behind rock outcroppings, we shared all the splendor of this beauty with no one but our friends. Long-tailed tropic seabirds raced through the sky overhead. The seabirds were nesting in the craggy limestone pockets of the coral shoreline. Interestingly, these tropical birds are white with unusually long split tails. They appear to wear a mint green underside, but as it turns out, the mint green color is just a reflection of the water below and not the actual color of the birds. We called it a day as the sun began to set, but not before we made plans for another round of splendor. As Cindy and Rob headed back to their boat, after getting whipped by yours truly, the anchorage took on a new look as all of the mega yachts displayed their colored lights. As we awoke to another glorious day, we head out to explore some more of this quaint island. Each bend seemed to hold another Kodak-worthy beach, and we spent the day enjoying several. It's hard to leave a place like this. 2 days didn't quite seem enough. But with it being hurricane season, we had to keep heading south. So we regretfully say goodbye to Shroud and pull anchor for our next destination. Join us next time as we face off with a very large barracuda. If you're enjoying our videos, please consider subscribing. It would really mean a lot to us. Thanks, guys.